Hey guys, today I'll be prestiging my rebirth human on Dragon Ball Z Final Stand, and I want to show y'all what happens when you prestige a rebirth character. I'll explain to y'all what happens to the stats and everything with a little bit of detail that I feel like a good majority, or at least a significant amount of the Final Stand community isn't fully aware of. Whenever you prestige a rebirth character, Prestige allows you to carry 10%, 20% of your base stat. But whenever you rebirth, it'll give you 300, but it'll allow you to carry 10% of your base stat. So what happens exactly whenever you prestige a rebirth character? I'll tell y'all exactly what happens. Right here, these are my base stats with no bean at all, no red bean. What my base melee damage is going to be whenever I prestige this rebirth human, it's going to be, so 20% of 1080 is going to be 216 points. Now whenever you prestige a rebirth character, you keep the angel wings, you keep the 300 points. But here's what's really strong. Doing the rebirth and then the prestige is actually a lot better, because your first prestige is going to gain power off of the initial that plus 300 that you got because you did the rebirth first. And 20% of 300 points is 60 additional points. So if you rebirth and then prestige, you're going to have an additional plus 60 points additional to your build over every stat just because you did the rebirth first and then the prestige. That's ignoring what you could have carried over from the 10%, and that's ignoring how high of a level you might grind up to before performing the prestige. But even at level 683, this human is going to have 500, let me calculate this, 516 melee damage starting at level 1, and around 500 HP. The top just finished. Let's see what my stats are. Let's see if I was correct. Okay, now my math will be a little off because I just gained some stats. Let's see here. Oh gosh, this dude, oh my goodness. Gotta wait for that to wear off. Well, no, I don't remember what it was. Let's go ahead and prestige this slot. Alright now guys, let's see what these stats are. Like I said, melee damage 516, health 509. So what happens whenever you prestige a rebirth character, as things stand now, is you will still gain 20% base of the base stat, but you keep the 300, it carries over. But the reason why I'm mentioning this, and the reason why there's still a question, people still question if I should prestige and unlock all the OP forms and then do the rebirth. I wouldn't do that at all. I would rebirth first, then do probably one prestige. That way you have an immense boost to your stats, because having those 300 points and then prestiging, you're gaining 60 points just off the 300. So that is very strong. That's very strong. So that's about it, guys. That's what happens with more detail as to what happens if you prestige a rebirth character. So if your rebirth android has 2000 base melee damage at level 820 and you prestige it, you're going to have 700 melee damage at level 1, which is very strong. But thank y'all for watching the video. I appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all.